Alright, welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon, where we are still at Anchorville, and honestly, it's been a long while for me.
Veggies,
We have
fish,
all kinds of fresh vegetables.
Yeah, let's just continue where we left off. According to the dates noted on my last save file,
Beginning search.
the last time I played was 2 months ago, so... God, something here was our quest, yeah? No bulletin
Please
board?
wait a moment.
Okay, you are the guy we need to talk to, yeah? Gracio. Are you Gracio? We're from Arkwright Solutions. Ah, so you're the ones I've been hearing about. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Gracio, yes. And I represent Anchorville City Hall's tourism branch. There's no need to be so formal. It feels a little strange in a place like this. It ain't every day we get a full SPG from someone in the government. Even so, I expect my request should be right up your alley. Now allow me to explain the situation. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Gracio. At least wait for me. My apologies, Mr. Bennings. Oh, is this your boss? Please allow me to introduce... The fixers, right? I've heard the rumors. You're right, we don't normally consider asking for outside help. Gracio has been making the case that we should reach out to you. Seeing as the buck ends with me as the manager, I'll be sitting in on this meeting. Fine by me. What's the deal with the request? As you can imagine, our tourism branch is in charge of Anchorville's PR and facility management insofar as they relate to tourism. That includes cooperating with certain sites used to reserve lodging. It's a service that books accommodations for you, yeah? I've seen a few before. It's a little strange for the city to be involved like this, well, we don't just think of ourselves as just transportation hub or a rest stop on the way to the capital. So we provide information to tourists about our various attractions and recommend accommodations and discounts they can use while they're here. We're also running a popular support campaign in conjecture with a space program offering partial rebates for lodging. Because of that, we've been getting more and more reservations than we ever thought possible. Wow, normally people just skip right by us since we're so close to the capital. Sounds like I jumped on the space program bandwagon at just the right time. Oh, Aaron. What to the point, the quest makes it sound like you ran into some trouble? Yes. Was that as some of the rooms the guests reserved ended up being occupied before they even made it to the hotel? One group reserved a suite and ended up with a conference room. And there was even a prepaid reservation that had no record of payment, causing the guests to lose out on the room. Such problems have been frequent, but only at lodgings registered on the site within the city. Only at Anchorville lodgings? That is strange. Did the deal figure anything out? Not a thing, unfortunately. We don't know if this is an issue of the site, an error by a third party, or even some kind of crime. Whatever the case, we'd really like to get this taken care of quickly. In addition to affecting business operations, they have also resulted in a number of claims being made against us. I heard rumors about you while all this has been going on. Apparently you're familiar with the orbital network and other new technologies? We would truly appreciate your assistance. Alright, we accept. Really? That's reassuring. Normally I'd say it's up to the city to clean its own mess. But if everything is in order, I'll leave the rest to Gracio. I'll still be keeping an eye on things though. We'll see whether or not you're like the rumors say. I don't have the feeling that he trusts us. Can't blame him, even if our reputation's been growing. The work we do ain't exactly on the up and up. No, we'd like to hurry up and get started, but we can't until we know where the issues actually occurred. Of course, that would be at Hotel Marseille on the back street and the boarding house operating in the southeastern part of town. You've already spoken to the people in charge, so I'll leave the rest to you. One more thing before you go. Here. Gracio had out an envelope filled with mirror. What's this? What do you mean? This is the advance payment, of course. I believe what we need was made clear in our request. Please accept it. We only want this problem to be taken care of quickly. Naturally, we will be provided a much greater remuneration upon the completion of a job. This is more like how we did transactions as mercenaries. Yeah, thanks for the offer, but we only accept payment after the request is completed. Hard to guess how much overhead we'll be dealing with. Can't you just pay us after we wrap things up? Is that so? Well, if you say so. We'll let you know if you find anything, so don't worry. First we need to check out Hotel Monsieur and the boarding house by the station, right? Yeah, best get started.
Okay, time to get to work.
Please wait a moment.
Good.
There's so many pigeons!
Let's begin with the hotel. Topic.
A moment, please.
Welcome. Do you have a reservation? Nah, just some questions. We're here on behalf of the City Hall regarding a certain incident. I see. With the booking site, yes, our hotel is registered. Thanks to the tourism support campaign, the number of guests staying with us has increased over the last few years. Sounds like the number of problems have gone up too, am I right? Yes, just the other day we had an issue that affected 2 of our guests. The reservations overlapped for the same room. Does that mean we're somehow able to reserve the same room at the same time? That definitely sounds like a problem. Indeed, the room in question sits facing the river with an excellent view of the city. After some discussion, we'll be able to move the guest who made the reservation second to a room on the other side of the hotel. To compensate them, we provided upgraded dining privileges and other benefits. However, the tourism support campaign ultimately failed to provide them with a rebate. Our guests were fairly dissatisfied as a result. That's pretty rough. It seemed travel and trouble go hand in hand. It was a strain on the hotel too, wasn't it? Honestly, it's been nice not having to worry about profits recently. Needless to say, we're happy about the increase in visitors, it's just that the growing number of issues is becoming a problem. We reached out to the booking site to try and prevent this from happening again, but they said they couldn't identify the problem. No clues about the cause, huh? Would you be willing to share your communications with the booking site from the time of the incident? After you deleted your guest's personal information, of course. I suppose I could provide that much. Just a moment, please. The manager provided the data regarding the booking site. Alright, and the other that is close to the Bracer Guild.
The receptionist is so hot. Pardon me.
We had to deal with complaints all day yesterday. We really need City Hall to do something about this as soon as possible. Excuse me, are you a person in charge here? Sorry to interrupt, you're so busy. Got a minute to chat? And you're? Contract is for City Hall. Ah, you're here on behalf of the City Hall about the booking site problems. Then am I glad to see you. Honestly, these issues have worn me down. We were told that you have an old apartment that you've been renting out as temporary lodging? Would you mind telling us about some of the troubles you've been having? Just the other day a guest told me they'd made a reservation on the site, but we hadn't gotten a notification about it at all. There was nothing we could do to accommodate them at the time, since we were full. A reservation that shouldn't have gone through. Sounds like it's been a common issue. What ended up happening with a guest? Well, we helped them find another hotel to stay in, but it's troublesome having to deal with these unforeseen issues, including returning the mirror they said they'd already paid. The new hotel didn't fall under the ongoing tourism campaign, so the guests lost out on the rebate too. Since we were so busy helping them, we couldn't deal with our normal guests, resulting in a number of complaints. Sounds rough for such a small operation. Did they not find any flaws in the booking site systems? I suppose that's a possibility. We asked, but they told us they couldn't figure out where the problem originated. The site only just started operating and there haven't been any similar issues elsewhere. I've definitely seen an increase in the people staying with us since I registered on the tourism guy's recommendation. But if I'm going to have to keep dealing with things like this, then I might have to back out. More people, more problem, I guess. But something does feel off. You mind if we take a look at the computer you use for the reservations? We'd like to take a peek at the data from that day, just in case. Not at all, here I'll show you the way. Van entered the boarding house and borrowed the data from the computer. We managed to get information from both the hotel and the boarding house that Gracio mentioned. Sounds like both of them had problems with the site, but got no answers about why. We've investigated the data we received, and it appears that the guests are experiencing the problems using different booking sites. There were records of other such cases as well, but there doesn't seem to be any common threads regarding the sites they used. Sounds like it's not a bug in the reservation system itself. Could be something on the outside, or maybe a problem with the lodging? Either's possible. I hate to doubt the people of my own hometown. But should we get my mom involved? Miss Chloe? Yeah, La Nuit de Chat Noir may not be a hotel, and the guest rooms typically go unused. But it is pretty famous in the area. The tourism branch has probably reached out to her before. She must know something what's been going on. You're probably right, we ought to check in with her. And let's head over there now.
Veggies, fish, they have everything.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, you're all back? Looks like you're in the middle of a force PG. If I suggest you need something from me? That's when nothing gets past her. We wanted to hear your thoughts on our current force regime. After calling out to the members of the crew standing by, I gathered at a corner booth to talk. Ah yes, I was approached by City Hall's tourism branch not too long ago. They said they would provide monetary assistance and wondered if I wouldn't open up the second floor rooms to booking. Of course, given the secrets we keep, I had to turn them down. It sure would have made the place a lot more lively. Having more outsiders around would make it a little harder for the cats to play. You want to protect your secrets, then you'd be better off locking up Judith in her room. What's that supposed to mean? I'm pretty sure there's only one possible implication. You too, Katra? Anyway, that's the situation as it stands now. You hear anything about it? We know it ain't just a bug with a booking site. I heard about what happened at the hotel and the boarding house. There's something else I found interesting. It's regarding the tourism support campaign. The tourism support campaign? That's a rebate offered on reservations made through the site? Yes, but it doesn't apply to everyone. There are a few conditions. You have to use the site, fill out a survey regarding that usage and so on. Anchorwood City Hall ultimately is the final say. The problem though is timing. I looked into it. City Hall is making their decision after the reservation was confirmed, but before the info is sent to the hotel. That means City Hall wants stopping the information from going through. The information on the reservation was only sent to the hotel after a determination was made. It certainly seems like a strange system, doesn't it? Sure does. There's no reason for City Hall to get in the middle of a reservation process. Payments could get cancelled. Whether or not someone qualifies for a rebate should be decided after their stay. That's how other campaigns like this tend to handle it anyway. Begs the question, who's in charge of making these determinations? I've already looked into it. It's none other than the tourism branch's own Gracio. Our client, huh? This is starting to stink. But why? What for? It seems a little too complex to be a prank. But it's not like either the guest or the lodging is suffering much in damages. Hotels only lose a little bit of time and cost in compensating their guests. And it's not like any guests have been tricked out of something. Not publicly anyway. Could be something like that's happening. but it just never got brought to our attention. It sounds like you've got something in mind. Yeah, but I still got a few questions. Thanks though, we managed to straighten some things out. You certainly match your reputation. You're quite welcome. I don't really get it. We may have to start asking our questions more directly. Yes, then let's head to Anchorville City Hall.
If I may trouble you a moment.
I'd be pleased if you found a way forward. Rest is in your hands, just make sure you finish your job, alright? Be on it, ma'am. City Hall.
Please wait a moment.
Awkward Solutions, how's your request coming along? Do you have an idea of when we'll be able to put this behind us? Yes, we've talked to everyone involved. Is that so? I'm glad. Perhaps we should go into that meeting room for your proud... Nah, here's good. Since it looks like we've got to clear up some misunderstandings. And what does that mean exactly? Sounds to me like your investigation into the booking site is complete. Do you figure out what's causing the problems? Yeah, we sure did. I think if here works out, it'll be much quicker if you're involved. Say what? Fine. Let me start with our conclusions. The problems with the booking site that have been popping up are caused by... you, our client. Huh? What are you saying? So it was him. It would certainly explain a lot if he's our guy. Yes, including the true reason behind the trouble. Would you kindly elaborate? The trouble wasn't caused by the site itself, nor by the lodgings or the guests. It's a question of who caused the problems and why. The core issue is the discrepancy between the reservations the guests made and the information the accommodations received. Based on the fact that this problem is only happening in Anchorville, regardless of the site being used, and given the system in place for the tourism support campaign, you'll be able to narrow down the list of third parties involved. The culprit in question intentionally created trouble for the lodgings by falsifying reservation information. Oh, hold on a second, why would anyone do that? Sure, there were issues, but the payments people made were refunded properly and they were even compensated for the trouble. Nobody stands to get anything. Would someone really go through that much trouble just to cause problems? Not normally, no. You're right on that account. Especially if there wasn't the potential for a major payout that would offset the risk of being caught. But you must have an idea as to why someone would do this, Mr. Bennings. But there's nothing to gain from it. No, there's one thing. Something only someone within the tourism branch would know about. Something so few people ever deal with that it would easily go under the radar. You mean... That can't be right. The rebate mirror from cancelled reservations? Yeah, probably. With reservation information altered, guests would be forced to cancel the tourism campaign, but the funds are still requested when the reservation is completed. Our culprit in question exploited that gap and embezzled the funds from cancellations. It's a kind of thing only one person has access to. The person who makes the determination, in other words, you. There have been some talk up the ladder at City Hall. It was discovered that the reports didn't match your approved budgets, which means some of them inside the organization was up to something. An investigation has been pending. Grass, you mind giving me a look at your computer? But you... It's not true, so I would never embezzle money. I only want to bring some life into the city. For I knew that all this mirror at my fingertips more than I'd ever seen. Oh, that's not what I meant to say. Well, I guess we managed to put that mystery to rest. I never imagined he'd be embezzling the funds. Whatever, at least you figured things out. What's the deal? This isn't what I was told. Gracio? You're a spring, aren't you? You fix things, right? You do whatever you have to for Mira, even making crimes disappear. Did you read my request properly? Huh? Your request? Would you be able to help me clean up this mess? I had a feeling we went on the same page. So he expected us to help cover up his crimes. To think there could be such a mistake. I did nothing wrong, a devil made me do it. Only it just helped me cover everything up instead of blabbing about the whole thing. What kind of solutions are you? My whole life's over. Gracio, what a joke. Saying anything else at this point just meddling, but we did accept his request. Stop blaming others, seriously. A devil made you do it? The hell it did. With you getting soft, you're just desserts. You even dug your own grave by hiring us. If you can't accept any blame, you'll never be able to start over. Start over? How am I supposed to start over? That's up to you. I ain't gonna lie and tell you it's easy. But starting over is just the bare minimum, especially considering you put up that 4 SPG. You guys. We apologize for making a scene. We ain't trying to stand out any more than we already have. So do you mind taking him to another room and calling the cops for us? No, I don't mind. And so Gracio was taken to another room. To prevent the disturbance from spreading, he was handed over to the police via back door. After a time, an air of peace returned to the tumultuous city hall. I hope you all forgive me. I never expected things to turn out like this. If it's any consolation, I was at least able to arrange for a payment on Gracio's behalf. We did solve a problem with the reservations after all. Seeing how things went, I almost want to ask for a bonus. But I let it slide. It's partly our fault for not noticing the issue earlier. Man, don't tell me you're feeling sorry for the bastard. I'm not that naive. Depending on the client, it's not impossible we'd accept that kind of request. But we're not obligated to help someone who just wants to avoid paying for their crimes. You're right, that simply isn't our way. I see. So this is a Spriggan. I'm ashamed to admit I was on my guard against you just because I heard you did jobs for the underworld. That does sound like an appropriate reaction. It's a shame things sound like this, but I think your tourism plan is still a great idea. Please keep doing what you can to make our town a great place to visit. Of course. We have to restructure our campaign though, and earn back the trust of the people we've made problems for. Good luck. The war will fall out too. As for us, it's time we took our leave.
That's all, folks.
Mira deposit confirmed.
Low up. Grey up. Mehr grey. Okay, I think that about covers every place there is to see. And we've gone through most of the 4 species too. No sign of those masked guys of a white replica. Right, they're still at large. Perhaps we ought to gather everyone together and discuss the matter? Yeah, I'm curious what Mom thinks. Let's head back to Chant Noir.
Please wait a moment.
Chloe joined them as well, and they all discussed their thoughts about the current state of affairs in Anchorville. At present, there's no sign that vestiges are here in Anchorville. And yet you feel as though something's out of place. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, a telltale sign of that was the 4 SPG's poster around the city. I agree. There was something different about them compared to the usual fare in Edith and in other places. That gal of them asking us to cover up an embezzlement to silence people just because some accusations are thrown their way. What, did they think we were gonna leap at the chance to sink our careers and be sent up the river? I got nothing against taking jobs from people on the opposite end of the law, but only if doing so makes sense. Or at least that's what I did when I first opened shop, but I hardly ever take those kind of gigs now, with an Edith or on trips. If I'm being real, both of these 4 SPGs were so twisted they left a real nasty taste in my mouth. This time I asked Mom to spread word about the 4 SPGs. Basically I informed my cafe regulars about them through subtle means. If information was misinterpreted and thereby distorted before it spread, then I believe I'm the one to blame. Unless it was an act of sabotage? You don't mean... Are you suggesting someone deliberately distorted the information? Call it a hunch. It's not like I have any proof, but something smells off about this. I'll confound the Spriggan and make him suffer. That's the stench of malice that's assaulting my senses. The stench of malice, huh? Are you saying that they deliberately spread misinformation just to harass us? Like I said, it's just a hunch. But that's not what's important here. The main issue on the table is the sudden heel turn they did. You got a call from the police and the guild a bit ago, right? Yes, on account of our 2 former clients. The investigation unearthed several points of commonality between them. Like what? They had no recollection of a moment wherein they were cornered and subsequently lost their composure. Moreover, they had recently been admitted to Anchorville General Hospital. Wait, what the shit? The part about losing their memories reminds me of Jeffrey. That can't be a coincidence. Something's fishy about that hospital. Yeah, there are too many things that point back to that place. That hospital has many inpatients from Edith too, not just locals. I'd feel awkward poking my nose around there without just cause, but maybe we can at least pay it a visit? That may not be a bad course of action. Just tread carefully if you decide to take it. The notion that something is going on at that hospital has me wary. Possible even the conclusion was put in our heads by our mystery tall tale teller. Honestly, from what I'm sensing about this character, he's not some big fish worth stressing about. The opposite, in fact. Even so, we should still look into it. The hospital is a quick walk from the street in front of City Hall. But with a group as big as ours, we definitely draw attention to ourselves. It might be better if some people stayed behind. Good point, let's bring along people who blend in more naturally. I'd like to clamp down on the fixer vibe if we can. Then why don't you bring Fairy, Kato and me along? That could work. The chance of us arousing suspicion and being questioned would be minimal. We'll go undercover and have our comms on just in case. Do be careful and make sure you're prepared before heading in. And that will probably be the
We have all
point
kinds of
for
fresh vegetables.
time passes on. Once we begin, imagine we were there for a while. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Then, where was the movie theater? Anything interesting running?
What would you like?
Cheers, star. All right. Rachel, an ambitious young girl, would be starting her first year at the local high school that spring. Not long after enrolling, she went to go see a high school sports tournament in the capital, when something caught her eye. It was a cheerleading squad from a prestigious school in Edith. Rachel couldn't look away from their stunning display of athleticism. She'd also taken note of the squad leader, a beautiful and distinguished second year from the other school, named Jennifer. Admiring Jennifer's cheerleading skills, the moment Rachel got back home, she sprang into action to form her very own cheerleading squad. Rachel put all her effort into strict training and trying to track down additional members for an upcoming cheerleading competition that autumn. It was a struggle, but her drive inspired those around her, until she formed a group of friends and teammates she knew she could rely on. And then?
We put everything we had into that performance. We've got this in the bag!
Jennifer and her team are really something. Hard to believe they could pull off a stunt like that.
We'd really have to go above and beyond to win now.
There's that one stunt, but we've never managed to pull it off in practice. Not even once. It'd be reckless to change our routine and try it now.
It's reckless. It's impossible. We can't do it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of hearing stuff like that. So what if we fail? Let them laugh at us. A little laughter doesn't scare me. What does scare me is the thought of giving up. I'd hate to walk away from this with the regret of not having tried everything we could.
Rachel?
And above all, I know we can do it. All of you have so much potential. So come on, believe in yourselves. And each other.
You said it. In that case, we've got your back all the way. Let's get out there and show them what we're made of.
That's what I want to hear! Let's get to it, girls!
Yeah!
Go! Fight! Win!
My word, they've done it! A stunt more technically complex than even the Hustle Tower. They've managed to pull off the Spectacle Tower! This is, without a doubt, the most impressive achievement in this tournament's history!
We did it! We really did it! Thank you all so much!
Way to go, Rachel. Beat us fair and square.
Yeah, I'm feeling kinda embarrassed rewatching this after all these years. I'm pretty sure I would have played the part much better if I'd done it now. Think so? I actually think you were a perfect fit the way you were back then. You were still young and had that tenacity and hunger for success. All that was a good match for a movie's coming of age vibe and for Rachel's courage and experience. Okay, if I only was kinda embarrassed before, I'm majorly embarrassed now. I get what you're trying to say, but can we change the subject? Okay, with all that on account, though, I think you can understand why Nina was so taken with the movie. That's right, she did mention that this is what ignited her interest in this industry. I'm sure she paid close attention to all the little details when watching, my rookie-level acting included. Just thinking about it makes me cringe. It was such a weird feeling. I've had a chance to speak with the girls in the cheerleading squad as a member of the student council. Watching this movie reminded me of just how passionate those girls are. Yeah, I saw cheerleaders in action when I was in school, but watching this movie helped me understand the sport again. You know, I just realized, I think you'd make a damn good cheerleader yourself. Did you ever get any invites to join the squad? Yes, I received one not too long after I arrived in Hermès. I turned it down, however, partly because I became a student council president. I'm more suited to supporting others behind the scenes rather than on a conspicuous stage. Still, I helped them in other ways, such as resolving their budgetary issues. Ha, of course you did. Yeah, I guess it does sound more your style. Hey, looks like you're selling commemorative brochures. Apparently we have another movie
What would you
option. Like? So this cheerleading stuff turns cheering for someone into a sport all its own, huh? It kind of reminds me of one of the dances that have been passed down in my tribe. You mean a dance that motivates and celebrates warriors? I feel like I thought about something like that. Yeah, if I think of it that way, it helps me understand how Rachel and her team feel. Since it's a dance for warriors fighting or competing on the battlefield, it has to be powerful and beautiful enough to compete on its own. Which is why, if you want to be victorious, to dance with a warrior's determination. That's a very Kruger way to look at it. Still, I think you make a good point. The competition in the movie turns cheering into a battle all its own. So I suppose you could say the same warrior's determination in the Kruger's dance can also be found in the cheerleader's performance here. If cheerleading is all about captivating an audience, I guess it's got more in common with Eastern theater than I thought. I'm more of a lone wolf type of performer myself, but still, I'm starting to think it might not be so bad doing an ensemble performance. I can only imagine how you'd handle things if you suddenly had to put together a dance troupe. Well, it's not like I'd have everything figured out from the start. Still, I'd make sure we'd walk off the stage with our heads held high. Though I'm not the give directions for every little thing type. Knowing me, probably end up telling them, shut up and follow my lead. Putting aside your unique leadership style, your tendency to push yourself forward has a way of drawing others along with you. That sense you and Rachel have got something in common. What else is to do? The Grim Garden.
Shock one up. Good stuff. Shock one up. Good stuff. Shock one up. Good stuff. Shock one up.
Okay, just for transparency, I reloaded the quest, so I gave the right answer with Judith the first time for that one extra SP, big like the little safe scum I am. Good, and also I
Planner launched.
remembered we still had here the...
Don't mind if I do.
I suppose this warrants a thanks.
Thank you. I'm happy you thought of me.
Alright.
Well,
Yeah, let's watch one. Let's
Planner
watch
launched.
one. Hermès. Let's begin with Hermès. Once group decided to take a short break. Everyone split up so they could spend their free time as they pleased. Seriously, what's she thinking? Make me drive out here on an orbital bike? I mean, sure, Mars let me borrow his, but come on. What the hell?
Hiya, Arkwright. Right on time.
Is that you, Hermès? Don't tell me that's... Yep, it's the new AF model designed just for the launch. I was in the area doing a last-minute test of its long-range flight capabilities, so I figured I'd swing by. Is that really allowed? It's not a little delay to my schedule, so let's not sweat the details. More importantly, give me a minute to get out of this thing. I can give you the rundown while we're on the road. Never expected you to take on a delivery job as Hermès this late in the game. It's crazy to think you're doing this when you're going into space tomorrow. Is it? I feel like I gotta get this done because I'm going to space tomorrow. I don't want to have any regrets. Nothing ever shakes you, does it? So why do you ask me to take along for the ride? Worried something might go south? Yep, the job this time is a race against time. The kind of express delivery only I can pull off. So if my bike breaks down, it's all over. Obviously that's not part of the plan, but it doesn't hurt to play it safe. Does this job matter that much? Just what exactly are you delivering? That's a distribution warehouse. Once we get the package from the delivery man, we'll be racing straight to Anchor City. Hi, I'm with a private delivery service. You should have been told I'd be taking over a package with this tracking number. It'll have just arrived here. Alright, the client just told us about you a moment ago. I'm surprised they're here already. Is it just me or she reminds me of someone? Must be imagining things. I'll get your package right away then. But do you really think you can deliver it in time? That's why I'm here. We got less than 5 minutes left. We can still make it. Don't slow down, we're going straight to the station. Where have you loaded it on that bike? I didn't see it. I guess it's goodbye for now. I promise I'll write you once I'm settled. I know you will, and I swear I won't forget the time we spent together. So you better get your butt back in here one day, got it? Guess the package isn't going to get here in time. Thank you for waiting. The international train will be arriving on platform 3 shortly. This train departs from Edith. It is bound for Ardon in the Principality of Remeferia. That's my train. Take care, you guys. Hey, why is that bike speeding right for us?
I made it. Here, your package.
For me? Are you telling me the gift we ordered made it in time? Can't believe it, you must be Hermès. Wait, is she? Oh, forget it. Now's not the time. Thank you so much. Maybe we can set our front off without any regrets. No worries, just doing what I was paid to do. I deliver anywhere on time. That's my motto. The young man then boarded his train at the last possible minute with a smile on his face and a gift in his hands. Next stop, his new home. So because of a shipping company's incompetence, the presents got stuck in transit? The gift was supposed to arrive yesterday so that they could give it to him before he left, but it only just made it to the distribution center today. Bingo, it wasn't going to make it in time, so I had to grab it from the warehouse myself. Gotta say, it's cool how my reputation for fast deliveries has spread. And here I was wondering what you could need me for when you were working on the space program. Didn't expect such a routine gig. What, you think we're delivering some classified national secrets? You know me, all clients are created equal. Hell, a kid could ask me to deliver a caterpillar and I'd do it. Honestly, I'm just glad I got the package to them on time. I don't think anybody else would have come all this way just for that. Who said that was the only reason I came to Anchorville? Ah, it's here!
Sorry to keep you waiting! This is our famous Café de Tiramisu!
Now this is what I'm talking about. I just had to have one while I still could. I tried it when I visited Anchorville once before, and let me tell you, I totally fell in love.
Please don't tell me the other reason you came out here was just to eat this. Oh, I tell you, alright. And please, don't act like you haven't gone this far for your favorite sweets. You got me there. Thanks for coming along for the ride today, Arkwright. Now, I can head off to space with no regrets. Glad to hear it. What's all this about regrets? You're usually so confident in yourself. A worst case scenario isn't out of the question, you know? No harm in making sure I'm prepared for if things go bad. And since I'm the only one who can pull it off, I put everything on the line to see my duty done. Huh, duty is it? I'm sure you've already put 2 and 2 together, but just leave everything in space to me. Especially now that I can go out there with a clear head. While I'm off doing that, I want you to do what only you can. Jeez, just what are you up to? Now I'm going to have to live up to your expectations. Tell you what, you can count on me to handle things down here on the ground. That way, when you wrap up your space duties, I can welcome you back home to no problems. Thanks, Arkwright. Hearing that is just what I needed. That's so? Well, as long as I could help. You really didn't have to see me off, Arkwright. Still, I hope you look forward to tomorrow's launch. Sure. Am I right in thinking you're a little... afraid?
I knew I couldn't fool you. I mean, on paper, success is all but guaranteed. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried. It'd be a whole lot easier if my life was the only one on the line. That is, I'm shouldering all the responsibility of a giant nationwide project. And even if the worst case scenario comes to pass, I can't afford to end up looking lame up there.
This ain't like you, is it? The legendary armies always get where she needs to go and makes it back in one piece.
She sure does. Okay, when I get back and things calm down, let's go on a trip together again.
I swear she's always such a tease. But I guess that's part of what makes her who she is. I'll be waiting for you, Hermès. As your friend, I believe in you. After that, Vaughn returned to Anchorville City, met up with his friends, and resumed work. Good. Do I watch another one?
Planner launched. Planner launched.
Interviewing a genius, sure. Once could take a short break.
I'm Edwin with Eaton News. So, you must be Kitty. Renne Bright. Thank you for agreeing to be a guest on my radio show.
Well, I just happen to have business in town, so I figured I might as well stop by while I'm here. I've actually listened to your show on the banks of a Marseille before. It's an honor to be invited by such a famous host. It's just a small late-night radio show, but I appreciate you saying so. And the young man with you is... consider me her acting guardian. Seeing as you contacted her once you figured out she was Swanette's famous kitty, I was curious. Just what kind of questions you wanted to ask. Oh, I apologize if I put you on edge. My whole show is simply about getting to know the surprising people who are the talk of town. I don't intend to reveal her real name, nor am I here for some sort of gotcha journalism, so don't have to worry. I'll be honest though, it'll be a stretch to think of her as some regular high school girl. I've looked into the information she shared with me in our brief correspondence about the striking student who came abroad from a neighboring liberal. Rumors that you've been discreetly involved with several of last year's events. You can imagine my shock when I dug a little deeper. Turns out you share the same name as a mysterious genius who published several doctoral theses that took the academic world by storm. Even if I wasn't hosting a radio show, my reporter's instincts would fill me with questions. Striking genius? It's a little embarrassing having such things said directly to my face. You're weirdly on board with all of this. Shouldn't we be trying to avoid standing out? Well, I've already been making a name for myself in the underworld, so... And besides, I've been listening to this show for a while. I've always thought it'd be funny to be a guest. Don't worry, I won't divulge anything I shouldn't. Sure, but... if you're that worried, why not watch as we record? It's not a live broadcast, so if there's anything you don't want getting out, I can simply cut it. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I have a feeling I'd like to ask everyone's favorite Springer a few questions too. Knows who I am, huh? He is one sharp reporter. Why does it seem like he's trying to feel me out? Sorry, but I'm not taking questions. Happy to sit and watch though. You can be so overprotective sometimes. Not that I really mind. In that case, come on in. We can get started right away. And so Ren entered the studio, and after receiving a brief explanation of how things would work, the recording began. Van watched through the studio's window. Sorry to keep you waiting, listeners. It's time for On the Banks of a Marseille. As usual, your host for this event is myself, Edwin of the Eaton News Agency. This is a show about finding folks who have a talk of town and ask them all kinds of questions. I must say, I'm deeply grateful for all of the love our niche little concept has received. I'll be counting on your support going forward, everyone. Let's aim for the primetime spot. Now, without further ado, it's time to call in today's guest.
Good evening, everyone. My online handle is Kitty. I never thought I would get to guest on a show like this, but I'm looking forward to our time together.
The pleasure's all mine. You know, I've never thought you would agree to a guest on the show. I'm sure everyone listening who's familiar with the net will have heard about you at some point or another. There's been whispers about the mysterious and beautiful girl who helped solve the problems popping up across the Republic behind the scenes. Theories suggested she was connected to the legendary hacker known only as Kitty. This might sound funny considering I invited you onto the show, but do you really exist? This is actually my first time officially appearing as Kitty. Normally I'm just a member of a student council at a local high school in the capital. That said, I'm originally from Liberal and I'll be heading home shortly as my studies abroad come to an end. How fascinating. If it's alright with you, I'd like to chat about all sorts of things while we have you. Yes, I'm quite looking forward to it. So to start, I heard you served as president of your school student council for an entire year here? It's rather uncommon for a student from abroad to be elected as president, isn't it? To be honest, I was actually planning to keep my head down while I was here. I suppose you could say I couldn't help myself, but after all was said and done, I found being part of a student council to be a cozy experience. Though there was never a dull day, and I found myself wrapped up in all manner of incidents, including my very first task as president. I looked into that first task actually. Apparently a certain senator's son ended up dropping out of school around the time you were originally elected to your position. Said senator was also arrested around that time when his corruption came to light. Is it too much to think the two things were connected? Oh my, you've certainly done your homework, Edwin. As for my answer, no comment. I leave the truth to your listeners' imaginations. When you did design that famous information portal on the web? Yeah, so it's mostly managed by a hollow AI. It's designed to do calculations based on information taken from various participating sites. Can't say I understand the details, but it sounds pretty complex. Did your doctoral thesis factor into this design at all? I wrote those just to kill time when I was a child. Though I was able to apply some of those theories, so I suppose they didn't go to waste. Oh, before I forget, I wanted to teach you about a little trick you can do on the site. If you click the kitten at the top of the screen over 10 times at a certain speed, my word, it plays a collection of cute cat sounds I record in the capital. Please feel free to give it a try when you need something to soothe your mind. Did you want to ask me about my life before I came here? Well, I've traveled to all sorts of countries. Liberal, Crossbell, even the Empire. A real globetrotter. In that case, is there any particular country you hold close to your heart? That's quite a difficult question. Considering my friends and family live in Liberal, that would be a no-brainer. But I could say that Crossbell is where my heart lives. I also made many friends when visiting the Empire before the war. The more answers you give, the more questions I want to ask. You're quite worldly despite your young age. Well, I definitely have lived a lot of experiences. Part of it is due to my prior job, you see. Now I would love to hear all about that. What kind of work did you do? let's see. Hacking, infiltration, professional... sorry, but could you cut that? Now then, we've heard all kinds of fascinating things from our guest, but we're almost out of time. Kitty, is there anything you'd like to say to our audience today? I had a wonderful time, and I've come to realize something after being given this opportunity to reflect on myself. I truly have been blessed with the many encounters and relationships I've developed over the last few years. Those who pulled me out of the darkness. Those who reached out to me from the light. And those who took me in when I wandered aimlessly, unsure of what to do. And yes, those who watched over me even after we parted ways. It's because of all those people that were there for me that I'm here now. Which is why I plan to treasure every one of those bonds. I'm a combination of both the good and the painful things I've experienced. I want to do everything I can to pay forward all the help I've been given. I want to be the one to extend my hand to someone in need. So to those of you struggling with darkness, I know there's someone nearby who's ready to reach out to you. I can only hope that everyone listening will treasure each of their relationships. Thank you very much. And that was our guest for today, Kitty. I'll see you all next time. Thank goodness things turned out okay. You had me scared stiff. Hard to believe you managed to talk around some of this shady stuff. Hey, what's up? What, just feel like perhaps I got a tad too excited and said more than I should have? It'll really be broadcast on air. It'll be one thing if you were the only one listening to it. Would have thought you get all bashful over something like this. I guess even given everything you've been through, you're still just an 18-year-old girl. But you probably don't need to worry too much. It's not like a guy's gonna reveal your true name. Perhaps if the people who know me are going to recognize who Kitty is. I suppose the silver lining is that it's only a local radio show in the Republic. To be honest, I'd like it if everyone you've ever met could listen to the show. I bet the folks inside you are real proud. I haven't been able to sense them since Nemeth Island. I'm certain we are finally at ease and with the goddess now. You know, I tried to look away from my past because I was afraid of getting hurt. But I finally faced it head on and overcame it. Those scars are something I'm proud of now. They're my scars. They're part of what makes me, me. Ha, you sure toughened up. Especially if you can say stuff like that, when you've got the deepest scars of all.
It's because of you, Van. You were there for me when I was just a stray kitty. And even now, you're still by my side. You're the one who helped me get over my past.
Come on now, don't you think you've given me way too much credit? What about everyone else who...
You help more people than you think. People who wouldn't have found themselves without you to take them by the hand and show them the way. If you ask me, you need to be a little more aware of the impact your words and deeds have had on people.
Alright, Obed, I just shut up and take a thanks one.
You're finally learning. You know, you've grown a little since then, too.
Jeez, you remember that tiny conversation? You're really becoming one formidable young woman, you know that?
Oh, speaking of thanking people, I suppose I should be grateful to Harwood as well. He might have given us the runaround, but it's a fact that what happened at Nemeth Island is what let me find closure.
Nah, you don't owe him. One iota of gratitude and you basically told him as much at the time, so stick to your guns. Hell, I'm gonna have to settle the score with him. When that time comes, I'll be needing your help.
Of course. If we include handling Harwood, then I suspect we'll be working together for some time yet. That should give me plenty of time to pay you back. For now, I'll keep counting on you, Van.
After that, Van and Renne left the news agency. and upon meeting back up with her friends, they resumed their work. Good, but I would end the episode here, and next time we look into the other 2 connection events and look into the Grim Garden. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.